Hello, and welcome to my Set 12 TFT guide. At the start of the game, you'll be given 3 options on the carousel to choose from. This could be something like Crab Rave, which got selected here. A little star comet will go around and randomly select anybody on any of the different 3 options. Whichever option gets selected, everyone gets. Democracy at its finest. Straight after this, you'll be put into your own arena, where you have to fight through 3 waves of enemies. For the first wave, you'll be given a random champion. When you've killed the enemies you face, they drop orbs, which can give you money, champions, or items. After finishing this first wave, you'll be given the opportunity to buy champions, which you can then place down. While this is playing out, I'm going to talk about the importance of XP and levels. Leveling is very important, but also needs to be watched out for. The higher level you are, the more chance you'll get rarer champions, but also the less chance you'll get more common champions. This means you need to be very wary of your level, because for some builds it's very good to rush, but for some it's not. You can also buy XP in the bottom corner by the reroll button, and it costs 4 gold and you get 4 XP. After every round you get 2 XP, and it's harder to level up the higher level you are. If you don't like the champions that have been presented to you, you can press D and pay 2 gold to reroll them, or click under the XP bar in the bottom left. After you finish your first 3 waves, you'll be presented with your first augment, one of 3. You can reroll them once if you don't like the look of them, but they're very good once you get a good one. After this, you'll be put into an actual match with a real player, and losing has consequences. If you lose a match, you'll lose HP. Everyone starts off at 100, but if you get brought down to 0, it's game over and you go back to the lobby. However, there are some good reasons why you should lose multiple times in a row. If you do lose consecutively, you'll be given a sum of money every single turn, until you start winning. And if you win consecutively, you'll also be given a sum of money, which is smaller than the losing one. Having more money means you make more money. Every time you get 10 gold, another small gold emblem will appear on the side. Once you get 5, you've reached the max, which means you can gain another 5 gold every round. This is the banking system in TFT, encouraging people to save money and only spend when they're above their allowance. Very responsible. When building your team and buying champions, you need to know a few essential things. What traits do they have? You want to make sure that as many champions you have match each other with as many traits as you can, as having more champions with the same traits gives them more buffs, giving you a better chance to win. Is the champion backline or frontline? You need to have a good healthy balance of both backline and frontline champions if you want to win a game. Your backline is all ranged, so it will be really squishy. You need to protect them with your frontline. Your frontline has damage dealers and tanks, which need to take more damage than your backline does. At the top of the screen, there's a GUI which shows you what's going to happen or what's currently occurring. And halfway through, you'll be put to the carousel. In the carousel, you can choose which items you want for your build. You can also sell the champion you select with the item afterwards for a little bit of more money, unless you want to keep them. The worst you've done before the carousel, you'll be let out first, meaning you get first pick of items. But if you do the best, you'll be out last, which means you get the last pick of items. There's a huge variety of items in TFT, which each do their own different things. Here's the 8 basic items for set 12. The BF sword gives 10 plus attack damage. The chain vest provides plus 20 armor. Giant's belt gives 150 health. The needlessly large rod gives 10 ability power. The Negatron cloak gives plus 20 magic resist. Recurve bow gives plus 10% attack speed. The sparring gloves give plus 5% crit damage. And finally, Tear of the Goddess gives plus 15 mana. All of these items can be combined to make up the rest of the items in the game, with the exclusion of spatulas and frying pans. Spatulas can be crafted with any of the 8 base items to make emblems, essentially giving any champion any trait, making it easier to get more buffs from said trait. This is the same for frying pans, which make a different set of traits. To use items, all you have to do is drag and drop them onto the champion selected, and you can do this from the bench. You can also remove them with magnetic removers. Right clicking on any item will show you its statistics, what it can merge with, and what the merged item gives you as well. Here's a table with all the items in set 12, excluding all of the frying pan items as well as all of the spatula items. As you can see, there's a lot of different items which do a lot of different things. If you right click on a champion, you should be able to see what they're good at, and when you hover over that, you should be able to see what items would be good for them. And once you buy a champion, they start off at 1 star, and when you buy 3 of them, they merge into a 2-star. You get 3 2-stars and you get the max of a 3-star champion. When they get to this max, they become way stronger. You want to try and get as many of the same champions as possible, so they can go up in star rating, giving them more health and more damage. But you have to be careful, as getting too many champions of different types on the board means it can become full, which means you can't buy anything else until you sort out your board, meaning you might have to sell some champions. In set 12, charms can appear in your shop around every 3 to 5 rolls, giving you a bunch of random stuff, such as gambling, where you can spend a little bit of money and roll a dice. However much you get on the dice is how much money you get. You can also do a coin flip, get free money, get some training dummies, and also just get some boosts for attacking. There's also a boatload more, but I'm just not going to go over it because there's too much and it's so random. At the top of the screen on the GUI, you can also see that after you finish fighting all of your opponents, you'll get 1 round where you can fight AI and get some items, some money, and some champions. Another hugely important thing is proper formation. Having a bad formation can lead to you losing matches just because of where your units are placed. It doesn't matter how good they are, if they're in the wrong place, you're going to lose. After playing for a while, you'll be able to discover where to put your units and how good they are in those positions. It just takes trial and error and time. And I want to just talk about the win-loss scenario for a little bit. You can always come back in TFT. It's always comebackable, as long as you have a plan. You need to have a plan, think about what you want to put on your units, and you can always come back. For me, I'm not the best at the game, so it's not always comebackable for me, but for you, it's always comebackable. The game does not always favour the winner. The game also gives benefits for the losers, which means they can have a better chance to get back up there and start winning the game again. What I use to help me out with the game is Meta TFT on Overwolf, and this is due to it providing an extensive amount of lists of builds you can use. You can look up the champion you have or the traits, and it will give you a good list of things that you need to get to win the game, including champions, items, and a couple steps along the way. Additionally to this, it will highlight any champions in the shop that you need for your build, as well as telling you the tier for augments, which is very helpful. Don't forget, you can also queue with up to 2 more people in a normal game, or you can do the different game mode where you and your friend are on the same team sharing a HP pool. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe, and maybe even join my Discord server if you want to. But if not, then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.